Guys, good evening. I'm not Casey here. Tonight we're talking about something that's been a highly debated topic in Destiny, and it's skill-based matchmaking in Crucible. Bungie recently in their TWAB released that, hey, we removed skill-based matchmaking from non-competitive in Crucible, and a lot of people really liked it. Specifically, the people in the mid to higher tiers of Crucible play, like skill level. Higher end players had worse load times, shoddier connections, and overall just didn't have fun because all their matches were super sweaty because they were playing other like players. Which, when you're at the top, that player pool is very small and not in one location, so the connections are bad. So I want to dive right into kind of three main talking points for my live right. And so diving right into the first one. So outlining that outlining Bungie's latest TWAB and their reasoning behind why they removed the skill-based matchmaking from the non-competitive Crucible. And then my experience after kind of knowing that they removed skill-based matchmaking, I was paying more attention to it. So some of my noted experiences, and then after that kind of diving into how does this telegraph down like the top I know what the top tier players are and how they interact with it, because I get to see their Twitter accounts and how they talk about it, tweet the insane kill feed that they have, like 50 kills or whatever, or one guy I think had 80 or something. I'm not exactly sure, I can't quite remember the large number, but it was big. But I don't think this telegraphs very well down to the lower echelons of players. So with that, those are my 3 points. Let's dive right in. So Bungie in their latest TWAB removed skill-based matchmaking from the non-competitive Crucible matches. And so there are 3 reasons, kind of they have bulleted here, and I just kind of translated them here. Shorten queue times and improve connections. Provide more places where the outcome of the match isn't as important as enjoying the experience. And then play to the strengths of Crucible being a bombastic, frenetic action game. So I guess this experience, these explanations for Bungie, I can understand the first 2. Shorten the queue times and improve the connections. Like, that makes sense. That makes so much sense. But what I don't get is to provide more places where the outcome of the match isn't as important as enjoying the experience. Now, for a lot of people, that enjoyment of experience is going to go up because, again, for the higher tier players, they get to enjoy quicker match times, non-sweaty matches, and they just get to have a good time ripping people open, because that's what they do very well in PvP and in Destiny. But I don't know how the enjoyment of the game translates down to players who have to play against those higher tier players now and have a harder time doing bounties and weeklies and stuff, because that's part of the experience in these core activities, is getting the bounties done, getting the dailies done, getting the repeatables done. Some people like doing that. Some people like going and checking those boxes. It gets a little harder now because they can't complete the bounties, they can't get the kill markers, kill ticks for certain weapons and stuff. So I don't know. I think it's subjective to put that as isn't as important as enjoying the experience. Oftentimes the experience is wrapped into getting kills, and I mean, at least how Bungie kind of pushes people to experience Crucible is get a lot of kills, do these bounties, and you'll do good. You'll have fun in Crucible. There really isn't a system set in place to just enjoy the experience. They don't really push people to that. So my experience with skill-based matchmaking being removed, well, it's been kind of interesting because I've looked at a lot of, or I've been paying attention to a lot of my games and a lot of how well I performed shots, and then paying close attention to are my shots landing? Are they, does the connection feel good? Like, are the things that Bungie outlined in this is what we're trying to accomplish, does that actually translate and happen? So looking at this, some of my games were spotty in their connection. Not all of them, but there were some where I was like, man, I feel like I'm playing someone who's not in this, like, not in the same connection type range that I'm in. It seems really weird. Overall, though, games are harder to win because there are players who are much better than me in my matches. I get that. At first it was really frustrating because I was like, well, I'm trying to do a quest and I can't win my games because I'm trying, really hard, but I'm just getting stomped by people queuing in as a group or just one insane person to play against. It's just like, oh my gosh. But I enjoy the challenge. I enjoy being tested. I enjoy playing against other more difficult players than myself so that I can improve in the gameplay. And that's my experience and what I enjoy. But I find that that's a real big problem for people who are not as skilled as I am or don't thrive on being challenged. Because some people play this game and they're not very good at comp. They like it. They can go in, they can get stuff done, and they don't have to feel like they just get ripped to shreds. And that's where I want to kind of discuss the lower half, the back or the bottom end of the player pool for skill level. How does this telegraph down to the mid to lower skilled PvP player base? Where I can see that the top tier players get the most benefit from this as they get lower queue times as well as more relaxed fun matches. That doesn't translate the same for the lower half of the PvP crowd. Players who are not good but like to go into Crucible every now and then to do bounties and weeklies and get those done will have a harder time completing them. Bounties require kills, and since matches are harder, it's more difficult to play to complete the bounties. Like, that's the one thing where it's like, if you're not able to achieve the goals that you were able to achieve last week or the weeks prior, however long, you just go in there, you get your weeklies done. You want to go into Crucible or whatever. You just want to have check off the mark or whatever. Just, all right, bounty's done. Bounty's done. We're good. Hey, I had a good game that game. I did it okay. Now I feel like it's harder for those players to do as well. And I don't think we should cater to them because I think removing skill-based matchmaking is probably a better choice. But I still think like it's not as good as like overall for those players. Because it just makes the games harder. I think Bungie needs to change how bounties work so that it's more in line with their point of it's important to enjoy the experience of Crucible. So I think incentives and rewards need to be about the experience more at the baseline, which if you're really good, you can get more rewards and stuff. But I think for a lot of the players, having bounties that require kills, and especially with certain weapons they're not used to, I mean, it's just won't even touch them. So my last point too is players who get thrown into a general pool. Players who get thrown into the general pool may not want to stick around in quick play if they don't like consistently getting mopped around. It's just kind of the general feeling now. Sometimes you just get mopped around a lot, like you are the cannon fodder on your team. The time will tell, and hopefully, maybe people will take the challenge of playing against others outside of their skill level, higher than them, and that's kind of from my standpoint. I like doing that, so I'm hoping that Destiny's full of players who like to challenge themselves in the PvP portion of this game. And I think overall it'd make the PvP experience a much better playing field, more exciting, more competitive. And we all like competitive games. I mean, people wanted Destiny to be competitive, but we all know where that went. So yeah, that's my live right, guys, for the skill-based matchmaking. I hope you guys enjoyed, and this is my first stream back over on Twitch, and we're doing this live while I'm streaming. It's been a good time on Mixer, but I think I'm ready to go back to having something a little bit more stable. Not necessarily like money wise, just like actual stability, like website. Even though Twitch crashed today because of Fortnite or had a really hard time, granted, like it's not as bad as Mixer. So with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I do stream these live now from twitch.tv//I'm not KC. So if you guys want to come on by, please do so. I appreciate that. If you like the video, please hit the subscribe button or hit the like button. And if you want more content, please hit the subscribe button. And yeah, we'll I'll keep on pumping out these videos for you guys. Because I like Destiny. I like talking about it and whatnot. But yeah, guys, thank you so much and have a good night. Bye.